Hey guys, today we're going to be checking out my Your Name art book that I picked up while visiting Japan. If you've been following the channel for a little while, you know I just recently did a vacation there, and I went to Akihabara, as well as a few other places. Please go check out that video where I talk about that in more detail. But in this video, I'm going to just be showing you guys this really cool art book that I picked up. And it's kind of thick, so I'm not going to spend too much time on every single individual page. I'm going to go through it, but I'm going to try and do this kind of quickly. As you can see, it comes out like that, and hopefully the camera will focus a little better. It's cool. Your Name, Makoto Shinkai in general, does my favorite animation by far. Studio Comics Wave. As far as I know, they've only done films so far and only kind of his stuff. But his story is really cool as an animator. Please go look him up too. And not every movie that he does is gold, but a lot of his stuff is just really good. Of course, a lot of this is going to be in Japanese, so I won't really be able to read it. But I didn't really get this to read it. I got this for the art itself. A little better camera. It's a cool night sky. This looks like a cool, an overpass in probably Tokyo or city. Could also look like Osaka, but I don't remember any of that movie being in Osaka. I visited Osaka and Tokyo. The cities looked kind of similar in ways, but they're kind of unique in ways. It's kind of hard to describe. Just some of the architecture and stuff that I remember. Again, I was only there for a week, but there's definitely a different feel to those cities. And this movie's all about different places in Japan. You got the countryside, and you have the city itself. And it's kind of like the parallel of life in both of those places. And another place that we got to visit on our trip was Nagano, which Nagano was a really cool place. They had the Olympics there back in the 90s. And that place was especially cool because it was more like a countryside. The city was really cool. And I would definitely love to go back to Tokyo and stuff. But the countryside is, I would say, equally as cool, if not more cool, because there's just a lot of interesting stuff you can do there, and just you meet a lot of kind of cool people. People there are a little friendlier, I'd say, than in the city. Maybe a little more willing to talk to you. You'll see a lot more mom and pop kind of stores than big chain stuff. Not that chain stuffs are bad. Coffee Boss, that's actually a real brand over there. You'll see that at every konbini or convenience store. Super glad I picked this up. This was, I believe it was about 2,000 yen, so I think it was only $20 over there. And I do not know if this is the same art book that comes with the upcoming Blu-ray collector's edition, but don't quote me on that. But I'm assuming some of the pictures might be the same, unless it's totally different. I don't know how many art books they'd really do for one film. Wow, this is just amazing looking landscape. But yeah, like I said, Makoto Shinkai, check out his other movies as well if you've seen Your Name. I'm sure there are people out there that have probably don't really look at don't look too deep into directors and stuff. But I don't really blame you, because I don't think not everything that certain people do in the industry is perfect. Like I said, he's made some films that are incredible. But I would also highly recommend, if you like Your Name, to check out The Garden of Words and 5 centimeters per second. Both are amazing films. And both are done by the same studio, same director and stuff. Just happen to be a little older. But you wouldn't really tell by some of the animation techniques, especially in Garden of Words. Personally, I kind of think that Garden of Words looks, in some scenes, a little better than Your Name. But I don't think that they were really trying to blow you out of the water all the time in Your Name with its animation. I mean, obviously it does at times, but Your Name has probably his most solid story behind it. And people would attribute that to Shinkai not working on it like alone. But I think the guy's very, very capable, and I think he's definitely a director on the rise. But yeah, like I said, check out Garden of Words. Check out 5 centimeters per second. If you're into if you really want to get deeper into him, I'm going to be doing videos about all of his works pretty soon, because there's only one film he's done that I have not seen. I've also seen his animated shorts. But I have not seen Children Who Chase Lost Voices, even though I have it on Blu-ray. I haven't picked it up yet. This is cool. This looks like a bullet train that they take. I wrote a couple of those while there. It's a cool temple building. Man, definitely a director on the rise. A lot of people might critique his stories are sort of you can almost expect a certain thing, which I guess I can see, but I really, really like what you can expect from his films. You can expect some romancy kind of stuff with some kind of there's usually an object in the way of the romance, or an aspect of life that gets in the way of the romance. Talk about physical distances, emotional distances, events in our life that might get in the way, stuff that's in our control, stuff that's completely out of our control. But as I was saying, I guess if you if you want to check out all of Makoto Shinkai stuff, I would definitely start out with Voices of a Distant Star. It is it's a 20-minute short that Shinkai back in the day, think late 90s, animated it all, but he did it all by himself. Him and his, I think, then girlfriend did the voice acting for it. And sorry about the lighting. Did the voice acting for Voices of a Distant Star, and it's not the greatest thing out there, but it's just really cool because he did the whole thing on his Mac, and just a cool story behind that. And that's kind of how he started his career. He was doing video game stuff, I believe, before, and he's even done some shorts for video games and stuff in the past as well. But I'm more interested in his anime stuff, which I can't wait for. I believe they're already working at his studio on another film, which is just gonna be great. Again, sorry for the lighting in this video, guys. I'm just hoping to... I'm also trying to go through this a little quicker. A lot of it is just landscapes. Not a lot of character stuff here. Or at least so far. I've only gone through this book once, even since my trip. So a lot of this is kind of... there's the... very important place if you've seen the film. I'm not going to spoil it otherwise. Man, this is just really beautiful. But yeah, check out Voices of a Distant Star. Check out Garden of Words, 5 centimeters per second. Makoto Shinkai is definitely really... I kind of wish he would do a series. Just because I think he could do it. I don't think anything too long, because I think his stuff kind of needs a big budget. But they just made a ton of money off of Your Name. The highest grossing anime film of all time now, I believe. I believe it passed Spirited Away. I could be wrong about that. If I am wrong, let me know in the comments below. Man, just nobody does Sky like he does. And just oh, man. More Sky. The guy, he really, really likes sky art. You could say that. He's some people call 5 centimeters per second 5 wallpapers per second, and if you see that film, you can see why. And this movie was probably on par with that movie's animation, I feel. This is a bookmark thing it's still in there from Japan. Nice. um, yeah, this looks. This actually kind of looks like how Osaka looks. But I guess it's probably Tokyo because I believe that Taki lives in Tokyo or a neighborhood of Tokyo or something. I don't exactly remember. Oh my goodness. If you're seeing this and you have not seen the Your Name film, please, please, please check it out because it looks way better than it does here. Me looking at the art book, it's definitely one of the best anime films of all time in my opinion. From, like I said, a director on the rise who I think is only going to make more and more cool stuff. One other recommendation I can give is another animated short that he done called Someone's Gaze. I believe it's Dareka no Manasashi. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. But Someone's Gaze or Somebody's Gaze, I believe it's called. It's only I think it's under 10 minutes, and it's on YouTube. You can actually watch it on there. It is a beautiful animated short, and it has the emotional punch that a lot of his movies really have. If someone were to ask me the best qualities of Makoto Shinkai, I would say that while he kind of attacks the same emotions over and over again in his films, he does it perfectly. He captures, I think, reality of relationships, and in a manner that you will not see in North American films, in media. There's not always a happy ending, and that's kind of how life is. And I feel I don't know if it's a personal speaking about personal experiences that he's had, but he doesn't sugarcoat stuff, and his stories can get kind of complicated and stuff like that, and sometimes it's a little drawn out, but they still feel pretty real. The emotions that the characters feel, their monologues, their desires in life, what they strive for, the envy that they could have for an older sibling, or the love they can have for someone that they just met for the first time, that love at first sight kind of feel, the development of a friendship from youth to adulthood, and sometimes how that might not even work because factors in life can end up separating you. He captures all these in spades, and I just think he's if I were to do a film, I would definitely have Comixwave do it. If I did really any anime, they would be my favorite animation studio, and I would definitely want Shinkai to work on it. I think that'll be a video that I do in the future, is my ideal anime and the studio behind it, because I don't think he would be alone in that. Not that I don't think he's very good, but there are other people in the industry who I think are also very good. And if I can get a certain group of people to just collab together and work on a project, I think it would be the perfect, anime for me. But Shinkai and Comixwave Studio would definitely be on my list of recommendations. I think we're starting to get towards the end here. Sorry if this video is a little too long for you guys, and if I'm going through these rather quickly, again, I apologize. Man. And I'd imagine someone living in Japan and getting this book, probably be just really surprised about how real everything looks. Because a lot of his locations in his films obviously set on real life places, and they go to the utmost extent to kind of capture what it really looks like, in rigorous detail. And cinematography in his films is also a really cool thing, I believe. A lot of the shots that he uses will capture details that I don't think you would really pay attention to in other stuff, not necessarily even just the characters. The character designs always look pretty good in his films, but they just kind of makes you like look at the environment. He's very good at directing you to say like, look at this, look at nature, look at the city, look at something that you probably don't really pay attention to in your everyday life, but just look at this beauty that you pass by all the time. Like, look at this. Like, it's like this a perfect, I think, Shinkai shot right here. You have the city in the background and nature in the foreground, and that's kind of what Your Name's all about. You know, you have a girl that's from the country and a guy that's from the city, and a love that, you know, things in the anime are going to test. Hey, is a JR. If you're gonna go to Japan, get a JR pass. That's all I could say, because it's gonna help you a lot, and that's from a real station, I'm sure. Yeah, Your Name, great film. I'm really glad I picked up this art book. Definitely worth the $20. Keep it right on my anime shelf. Actually, right next to all my manga, probably. And if you've been to Japan, and you've been to any of these like places, you point it out, and let me know, because I'd like to. Oh, this is like iconic. If you've seen the film, you know this is another really, really, really important spot, and great scene happens there. Man, I can't wait to pick up the Blu-ray of this movie as well. But and here's some like end credit stuff, or I believe it's interviews. Yes. So this book, it has Japanese interviews. I don't know if you're able to pick this book up. You can probably pick it up on Amazon or Amazon Japan, I would say. But yeah, definitely worth the money that I spent on it. Probably the highlight of my trip to Akihabara, really. And you know, please check out Your Name if you haven't. And if you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe to my channel. Also check out my blog that I'm going to link down below. And as always, guys, this is Miasma from Gyre Media, signing out.